Just start singing.
Hey everybody, welcome back to another episode of X with Your Enthusiasm. Congratulations, you made it. Today's episode, we're going to be talking about... that sound will come in interesting based on the title. Porno Gill from Season 1, Episode 3. And the interesting thing about this, I just realized, is, you know, every episode I make fun of myself. I'm like, why do I tell these motherfuckers what date this episode premiered? Nobody else gives a shit. But this randomly selected episode, Porno Gill, debuted 25 years ago today. Audible gasp. Gasp. Audible. Porno Gill. Let's get the... here we go. Larry sets off a bizarre chain of events, as he always seems to do. That's not my parentheses. That's the internet. In which he is forced to attend a party at the home of a porno businessman. For anybody who knows this episode, number one, this porno businessman is National Treasure Bob Odenkirk. The word businessman here is interesting in that what I remember from this episode, which I've seen about a million times, is Bob Odenkirk is a former porno, I love saying porno, porn star whose main claim to fame had to do with a guy jamming his finger up his you-know-what. See, I'm trying to keep it clean this episode. I don't know how that makes him a businessman, unless I missed something, which is possible, so we'll see. Anyway, so yeah, this episode, Express Your Enthusiasm, Porno Gill, as with every episode this season of Express Your Enthusiasm, is brought to you by Roy Rogers. Roy Rogers, you're the one who took the wrong exit. You eat the shit. All right, right off the bat, Larry's fucking up. Oh, shit, so did I. All right, next episode. I'm not going to say the F word, I promise. He's out on the golf. Is it a golf range where he's just hitting balls off the tee? I don't know. This is rich people shit. Guy comes up next to him, drops a ball. It rolls what looks like halfway between Larry and the guy. It's interesting. They didn't show the ball from a perspective that would let you know exactly who was further from the ball, literally. But the guy looks at Larry like, hey, could you kick it over here or whatever? And Larry makes a big production of turning, looking, staring at the ball for a second, as only he can do for some reason with his old eyes. And then looking up the guy. They just make eye contact longer than I ever have with my girlfriends. And by that I mean all added up in my lifetime. And then Larry just turns his back and starts hitting his ball, going back to hitting off his own tee or whatever. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about with golf. I don't know the rules of golf this way, but Larry seemed to be pretty blatantly an asshole. And again, it's not like he just furtively glanced out of the corner of his eye, noticed it, and was like, fuck this, I'm just going to pretend I don't see it. We've all been there. Maybe not on a golf course. This big production, so the guy's pissed, and of course this is going to come up later because of course the universe rules that if Larry David leaves his house, he has to run into somebody he knows, so of course this is going to happen. But yeah, right off the bat, Larry's 0-1. I mean, just fucking take the 0 seconds to tap the ball with your foot to the guy or whatever. For fuck's sake. I forgot to give you Larry's season score. In a season which has had a paucity, and I do mean that to use that word, it is correct and sexy. Ladies, slide into my DMs. Ladies, slide into my DMs. The fuck was that? Not a lot of transgressions. Hey, New York Times, that you, boo? Not a lot so far this season. He's only 21-34 this season, which seems outrageous. Let's see. Last year at this time, he was 56-38. I mean, that's crazy. Anyway, I can't help it. Maybe this season Larry's a nice fucking guy. Can we give him a little credit? Anyway, Larry's 0-1. I gotta make a note here. Larry's eating a sandwich. He's talking to Cheryl about what happened. I've noticed I've never seen anybody eat food like Larry David does. It's almost like I can't figure out what his mouth is doing. The food is like, it sounds like it's like rolling around, knocking around inside a cavernous mouth somehow, knocking against his teeth. But now I'm looking at him like, does he lap the food under his tongue like, cats or something? I don't know. Or dogs, how dogs drink water. Like, does he lap the food underneath it? I can't figure out how Larry David eats, so I don't know. Now Larry's visiting Jeff in the hospital. Jeff's having preventative heart surgery, or they're cleaning out his arteries or whatever. And he wants Larry to go to his house and clean out his little hidden porn stash, and in case something happens. And Larry's like, I don't want to. What if I get, traveling in my car with it and I get in an accident and everybody thinks it's mine? And Jeff's like, no, it'll be fine. But it's not crazy, but I got to side with Larry here because, hey, Jeff, if you die, what do you fucking care if Susie finds that you have porn? Let's be honest. And I want to be nice because the first season I was rough on Jeff unnecessarily, and I've apologized and will continue to. But I'm sorry, Jeff. Nobody on planet Earth is looking at you and being surprised that you have a porn stash. Like, we assume it's built in. So, I don't know why you're making Larry do all this. Larry's right. I mean, what's the modern... There should be a thing. I thought of this while I was watching the scene right now. Is there a thing where you can opt in on some program on your on your laptop or whatever that, hey, if you don't fucking hear from me in 3 days, 4 days, whatever... Like, I'm picturing myself, like, if I just drop dead right now, I would put the minimum of me touching my laptop, which is unthinkable. Like, it would have to be broken, which may put a kink into this. If you don't have, well, no, because it's just clearing the cache. If you don't feel my beefy little paws on the keyboard for 72 hours, boom, clear my cache. Boom. It's that easy. Should be something like that. Did I just invent something I can make $1 trillion on? Let's line up those. Let's back up those money trucks, people. Larry's 100% right here, and it's a pain in the ass because it's got to get the security code to get into his house, which I think ends up being a pain in the ass. Anyway, I got to side with Larry there. Congrats, LD. You went 1-1. You got your first win thanks to Jeff's fucking porn stash. I mean, just the one that we know of, anyway. I can sympathize a bit with Jeff since this is the year 2000. The show came out. Sometime around back then, it occurred to me, maybe before I go to bed every night, I should change my channel to something, like PBS, so that, God forbid, something happened to me when they discover me and they eventually turn on my TV or whatever. It's not like fucking, whatever I'm probably really watching. But they're like, oh, he went doing what he loved, educating himself on becoming a better citizen and appreciating the local arts. That'll be my gift to you people. You people don't need to know what I was watching. That's what I'm saying. So I can sympathize with Jeff, but come on, this is bullshit. So now Larry and Cheryl are lost trying to find this guy's house. Welcome to the year 2000. It is incomprehensible now. And I remember those days. I can't get from one block to the next without my Google Maps, texting ahead. Are you there? All that shit. Back then, we used to just ride around the fucking woods hoping we hit somebody that we knew, so to speak. Hope the cops aren't listening to this one. So Cheryl's giving him a lot of stick about why didn't you learn how to use the fucking satellite nav you put in, and Larry doesn't really have an answer. She's chipping away, and yeah, I mean, Cheryl's right. Larry should have probably tried to nail this fucking down before he left. 1 and 2, Larry David. And don't forget, this season of X with Your Enthusiasm is brought to you by Roy Rogers. Roy Rogers, you're the one who took the wrong exit. You eat the shit. Ooh, easy win for Larry. They see someone walking along the road, and Larry wants to stop and ask for directions, and Cheryl says, no, what if she's an axe murderer or something? And Larry correctly points out, it doesn't matter because we're fucking lost. Easy win for Larry. Congrats. 2 and 2. Okay, so now this lady they stopped to ask for directions is a bit of a pain in the ass. She's looking at the directions that Gil faxed to Larry. And she's just instead of saying, hey, here's where you need to go, she keeps bitching, why'd you do this? Why'd you do that? Why are you here? How could you marry this octogenarian? And he gets a little frustrated, and we've all been there when you ask for help for something like that, and suddenly you see, you know what? They're not only not helping, but they're making it worse. So you just kind of try to go. And to Larry's credit, he says, hey, thank you, I appreciate it, but I'm gonna get going. He tries to get the directions back. She flips out, fuck you, and not only just, she rips up the facts with the directions. It's not like she just tore it in half and threw it at Larry. She shredded it as best she could and then flung it into the wind. So that's an easy win for Larry. I mean, at least the lady could have just balled it up and thrown it off his fucking head, let it bounce off his bald forehead, so that he could still actually use it. But now she's acted like a total asshole. And this is the first time after seeing this episode 9,000 times it's occurred to me, why the hell is this woman, this old woman, wandering around the fucking woods at night? So, I don't know. But easy win for Larry. I thought about giving him 2 because I felt like they might have been 2 separate. Like the bitching at him about why did you do this, like seems separate from the balled up and throw directions at him. But I don't know. That seemed weird to root all. But congrats, Larry, over 500 for this episode so far, 3-2. Another one, easy win for Larry, and I think this may slide under our. Sometimes it just helps to have a bigger asshole in the room policy or whatever. Maxim manifesto. Cheryl's just bitching away at Larry, like, you know, and Larry's like, "What do you want me to do? I'm lost. You know, I'm trying to get us out of these woods in the fucking pitch dark." Like, it is terrible. I look back now, I'm like, how many times was I just driving around late at night in the middle of the woods somewhere? Like, no phone. Who knows? You break the, who knows what could have happened. So I don't know what Cheryl thinks is going to happen. Larry's just going to finally get pissed off and magically make them appear going back at their house. Like, I don't know. Easy win for Larry there. 4-2. Okay, so now the old lady's back wandering around the woods looking for blood, I guess. Guess who comes rolling up? Of course, it's the guy at the golf course that Larry pissed off. And Larry's asking for directions. The guy's like, you know what? Fuck you. I mean, come on, guy. Like, this is like finding your great-granddad. Granddad. I don't know why I said granddad. I always usually grandpa. I think it's from watching Only Fools and Horses 9,000 hours a day. It's like watching your grandfather wander around the woods late at night. How could you just abandon him like that? Like, come on. You got to give him directions, and then you can shove in his fucking face when he does show up. Be a normal human being, please. I couldn't live with the guilt of just leaving him abandoned there. But also, this is another thing that's just occurred to me. Boy, you people really bring it out of me. Like, give yourself a round of applause. It's also never occurred to me, again, how could Larry David, supposed bullshit genius of his and every generation, calls himself the real George Costanza, and yet after this guy tells him to fuck off, and then he goes on to the party, why wouldn't it occur to Larry, oh, okay, this is an excuse, now I don't even have to go to the party. Now, he still's lost, he still has to get home, but why even bother going to the party where, of course, he's going to step into even more doo-doo, so to speak. He has the perfect out. This guy's going to show up, hey, I saw Fuckwad wandering around the woods. When he describes the guy as being 900 years old, Porno Gil will say, oh, that's Larry, and he'll understand he was lost, couldn't make it. How did this not occur to the, and I use this term very loosely, the real George Costanza couldn't use this to get back to his house without having to go to this party he didn't want to go to in the first place? Anyway, Larry gets an easy win, though. That guy can't be leaving him in the fucking woods. 5-2. I think this is the best Larry's done so far this season. 5-2. All right, I was hoping Larry would go on a bit of a run here, but of course he can't have that on his curriculum vitae. He finally finds the house, which is one of the greatest houses of any TV show I've ever seen. A lot of stone, wooden beams, dark and cozy. I mean, if this thing had a bearskin rug from wall to wall, this is one of my, if not number one, just one of my favorite all-time houses on TV. Now, what the hell was I talking about? Oh, Bob Odenkirk, Porno Gil, meets Larry at the door. He says, hey, great to see ya. If you could just please take your shoes off before coming in. And, of course, Larry can't have that. And he bitches, and Larry's not taking his shoes off. Is that going to come up at some point? I think so. Larry, take your fucking shoes off. Unless there better be just something oozing out of every single one of your toes. And, like, not even the same infection. Each toe has a different infection that is awful and horrible. Unless that's fucking oozing out of your foot. Take your fucking shoes off. For fuck's sake. This is another just unnecessary bullshit. Dumb loss there, Larry. 5-3. Okay, now it turns out it's not a party, it's a dinner party. And Cheryl's a little beefy about that with Larry, but Larry's like, he said party. It's not a real transgression, New York Times. It does seem horrifying to drop in on a dinner party. Like all of these seem to be very close friends. Like Porno Gil starts telling a porn story, the one I referenced at the beginning of the show, and he's like, oh, these guys know all these stories or whatever. It's like, why would you invite a guy who randomly picked you up on the phone after not hearing from for years, which is kind of what happened, immediately invite him to this dinner party, which seems like a very intimate setting. So intimate, all these people know all your porn stories. So, I don't know. But, of course, now the wife is furious at Larry. She didn't really say anything. She just acts it out. Because Larry says she was like, oh, I'll make you play. And Larry's like, oh, it took us so long to get here that we ate. We found a bag of chips in the car or something. And that's what pisses her off. So I can't remember if she brings it up in a minute or whether, but how could you eat before a dinner party? But again, this is the George Costanza of his generation. And he can't come up with a lie better than that, even when the truth would have made sense. Hey, you know what? I fucked up. I didn't realize this was a dinner party. I thought it was just a regular party. Throw yourself, say, look, I'm sorry. Wow, I misheard. My bus. That's perfectly reasonable. Now, she can still get a little miffed or whatever, but how can that be the best you can come up with? And they were only an hour late. If you're 4 hours late, okay, you can say you had to fucking get a bite. But you were only an hour late even after all that bullshit. But again, we need to stop. We need to have an intervention about this whole the George Costanza the real George Costanza bullshit. Anyway, it wasn't a real transgression in there. I just felt like I needed to bring it up. You're welcome. And speaking of bringing it up, don't forget this season of Express Your Enthusiasm is brought to you by Roy Rogers. Roy Rogers, you're the one who took the wrong exit. You eat the shit. And we have another easy win for Larry. Porno Gil tells his Tabasco sauce story. Cheryl's like, get me the fuck out of here. I want to go home. Not to everybody else, just to Larry. Larry makes it, he agrees. He's like, then he makes a joke, hey, maybe we grab some Tabasco on the way home. And Cheryl does not like that. And is this funny? Is this funny to you? And you know what? I got to side with Larry. It's obviously an uncomfortable situation. It's not like he's running around the room high-fiving everybody. We're going to be here all night whooping it up, loving it. He agreed with you. Let's go home. He's trying to make a joke, trying to make the best of an odd situation for Cheryl. I got to give Larry a little credit for that. Easy win. 6-3 Larry. Wow. Now Larry somehow accidentally knocks a lamp over, smashes to bits, and Porno Gil's wife, who is already furious at Larry for being late and eating a bag of chips or whatever, just unleashes on him about all of it. And it's like, I mean, to a comical degree. Again, you don't even know this person. There's no reason he should be here. Just do the old, oh, don't worry about it. Oh, I gotta go eat some pistachios or whatever. And then talk shit about him now that he's gone. You know the other guy already hates him. You can get a couple hours out of hating, but let him just fucking... It was an accident, so, he didn't mean to knock over your precious lamp. She goes bananas. Easy win. Another one. 7-3 Larry. Which is funny because out of all these, one episode characters throughout Curb, Porno Gil may be the nicest. Like, he seems like a genuinely super nice, kind. He's being... him even inviting Larry in the first place is weirdly nice. Even as his wife is screaming at Larry, he's trying to be nice and gracious. Let's give a little love for Porno Gil here. Boy, Cheryl's really rocking the sometimes it pays to have a bigger asshole in the room. Larry realizes he forgot his wife. Some stranger at this party asked him if he could look at his watch, so Larry gave it to him and forgot it. They're on the parking lot. First of all, it's weird. They just awkwardly left this party after getting screamed at, and instead of getting in the car and leaving immediately, they just kind of stand around outside of Larry's car, yammering for like 2 minutes. Then he realized he forgot his watch, and she's like, well, go in and get it. And he's like, please don't make me go back in there. That she's like, fuck you. It's like, Cheryl, I know he's a society's monster, and you're always in predicaments. You cannot send Larry back in there. It's like a hornet's nest. Go there, knock on the door, ask for the watch. Nobody's going to yell at you. They're going to be like, oh my God, please give this poor woman the watch so she doesn't have to hear about it on the ride home. Come on, another easy win for Larry, 8-3. Okay, we end on Larry's gone to Jeff's house to get the porn stash, of course. Jeff has a tape, Porno Gil. And unlike a normal human being who would, if you want to, you're taking the porn anyway. But Larry puts the tape in the VCR at Jeff's house and just sits on the bed and starts watching this porno. So yeah, now I'm saying porno. It's like you're taking the porn with you anyway. Just wait till you get home or whatever. You're Larry David. Buy a fucking hotel just to watch this. And so now, of course, Jeff's parents come walking in. I guess they were visiting because Jeff's in the hospital. And Larry gets busted. Pun intended. But you know what? I don't know if it's just a feel-good episode of the season for Larry, but I got to give him the win because guess what? He was doing a favor for his buddy, trying to do a nice thing. Fuck Jeff's parents if they don't like it, whatever. So, wow. 8-3 for the episode. Easily Larry's best episode so far of Express Your Enthusiasm. Let's see. 8-3 puts him at, for the season, I'm going to talk slow while I try to add this up, 29 and 37. Not bad. I feel like I'm missing something here with these numbers can't be this low. But, I guess they are. Anyway, good job, Larry David, 8-3. Thanks for listening, everybody, to this episode of Express Your Enthusiasm, which, like every other episode from Season 4, is brought to you by Roy Rogers. Roy Rogers, you're the one who took the wrong exit. You eat the shit. Express Your Enthusiasm break-in note. I did screw up the scorekeeping. Turns out I'd forgotten to add last episode's Mary, Joseph, and Larry score, which was 2-5 for that episode, which would have brought his season up to 23 and 39. So with the Porno Gil 8-3, that takes him to 31 and 32 for the season, almost 500. I knew that's where that 23-39, I think I was yammering about for a second, came from. I knew I'd messed something up. So anyway, thanks everybody.